gonna pop these shoes out of the frame. This is a 30-minute practice. Welcome. Maybe it's welcome. This is a 30-minute practice. Um, Today we reiterated that 3 in sign is not the center middle fingers, the center 3. It's thumb and pointer finger and center finger. So I'm not sure what 0 is. Maybe it's, no, that's O. Anyway, about 30 minutes. The purpose of this is professionalism. So it's something that we're working on. It's a skill set that needs to be, it's like, yeah, it needs to be revisited often so that we can maintain professionalism in all aspects of conversations and interactions and dialogue, because it's quite important to have. It's a beautiful language that translates very, very well, or at a lovely capacity. So the first is going to be cobbler's pose, and we'll have our soles together, and it's a self-love massage. So it involves thumbs at the arches and working with the toes and however far up the ankles, the calves. Mostly the lower legs is what we're going to be working with in this pose. So just taking about 5 minutes or so to uh, tune in and kind of be present with our physical bodies, our bodies, no other beings, just kind of sharing love with ourselves in hopes that when we nurture that relationship with ourselves, we are able to then be a better vessel for others to help themselves. We're not necessarily yeah. So we're just gonna get into that for a bit. I could go on a rant, but it's probably better to leave you with your thoughts for a few minutes. It's of the realm that if we're care to ourselves, there's no need to seek desire from others. Although that's not a bad thing, it's that we primarily want to be seeking our own love and then sharing that light with the world, not necessarily um, seeking it from anywhere else. It's probably really special too, the love that you have for yourself, to um, to know that that love is probably the best love for you. Maybe not the best, or I don't want to utilize terms that are going to bind you into anything, but to have love that is kind of made for you in a lot of ways. It may not be the only type of love like that, but it's very easily accessible because um, it's maybe more easily accessible than other types of love. It's kind of like on demand. So there won't necessarily need to be a lot of movement. At some points, you might just hold and sense. I notice that my hands are warming from this task, and that warmth is spreading to the other areas. We're going to move forward to a pose called Broken Wing, and this is quite therapeutic. I don't know how it's going to work with these, but we will figure that out. Referring to my headphones. So, Shin's kind of in like mermaid pose. Not really mermaid, but I'm resting on one hip. We've got the outer thigh resting as well, and knees are bent. Knees slightly stacked, maybe not completely, um, maybe not perfectly, but just staggered perhaps. We are opening up so we have one side at the earth. We are opening up that side, that wing. So we'll take our palm out, um, arm in arm in a T shape. So it's like there's a right angle between the torso and the arm. And so we'll utilize whatever necessary to, so I'm breaking that shape to get down onto the mat, but resting at that side of the chest where we have that opening. And so we're opening up at the other side. And yeah, this is going to be really challenging with these headphones. So I'm not necessarily going to do, what I would typically do is rest at the right ear. So if I'm at my right side opening, then I'm resting at that ear. However, it's possible also to utilize the chin here, like really open up through the throat. That could be even better. Maybe you want to go and face the palm that is resting face down. So maybe you want to like face that open shoulder. But I definitely encourage that opposite arm to be behind the back body. And that's just to keep it from hunching or like closing off that side. We want to make sure that it's all open, the chest is. So I'm noticing that that opposite arm, not the one that's being opened, but it wants to move, or it feels like it's like elevated without a lot of support. I'm opening up that palm, and then I'm pressing that down on the earth as well. There's a lift at the wrist, like that's not completely at the earth. Maybe yours is, but that will keep from. And you could also do the opposite side just to rest it. Different ways, but just be aware that it's going to be nice to relax here. Like there may be parts of the body that need to move and shift a bit so that we can achieve relaxation. And slowly come out of the pose. We'll take Sukhasana, twist over to the opposite side, so palms above the head, and then just let that forearm rest at the top of the opposite thigh. Take the opposite arm behind the back body, the side that's opening. So the front of that shoulder, that collarbone is getting air, oxygen, and we'll lengthen the back of the neck. Maybe turn the chin a bit further. The inner thighs might be stressing out a bit here with this twist, so consciously relax those. And find center with palms above the head. We'll hop into Brahmanasana for a minute. Tabletop. If you're on cat-cow, spinal flexation. And Brahmanasana, second side. Oh, broken wing, second side. Sorry about it. If you're still struggling to get in the pose, because I did kind of butcher the description, it's that we're opening up one side of the chest. And these areas are connected to the hips. So it's going to be a tension releasing mechanism. Slowly awaken from the pose. We'll find Balasana, child's pose. Seat variation or knees open. Let's make way to Brahmanasana and spinal flexation. Sukhasana, palms above the head. Second seated twist. Center. Caterpillar with the legs extended. This might be Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Micro bend the knees. We'll undulate. So some spinal flexation involved. It's an up and downward motion with the torso. Or like an opening and closing of the shape. Moving closer towards the thighs and then moving further away with the torso. Sukhasana, cobbler's pose. And yogi's choice to undulate, to knead into the arches or the calves. Brahmanasana, spinal flexation. There was a little bug practicing with us. I don't know if this is the bug, but I don't know if the bug is still alive. I'm not sure. I don't see the bug. It looked a little bit different than that bug, so. A still Brahmanasana and a low lunge. Left or right. Lift and palms above the head. Another option is high lunge or any variation of a warrior. We'll undulate with the arms. Maybe forwards, backwards, up and down. And we'll twist. So this can be planted twist. I'll demonstrate that with so we have our lunge with, we'll say, the front leg, and the opposite arm is going to plant, so that that same arm, which is opening up the front leg or the side of the lunge, which we are bringing forwards, that will be the arm which lifts and opens. So the chest is opening, we're opening towards one side, the side of the leg which is facing forwards or brought forwards. Another option could be if you're in a lunge or really any variation of a standing pose or a high lunge, just open twisting. So palms can go far, they can be at heart center, maybe above the head, but the chest is opening and it's achieving parallel with the thigh of the front leg. And we will bring that upward facing palm to meet the planted palm. So if your palms are spread out wide, you can just bring one inward to meet the other and then back up. And we'll do this about 5 to 10 times, or however many times until get started cueing the next space. On an expand, we inhale, contract, exhale. So the next time the palms are together, safely maneuver to a lizard. If you are at low lunge, that just means maybe walking the palms forward, walking that front sole outward a bit and up. And then we're kind of giving weight, not too much, but to that back knee and that back shin. And then we're lengthening through the spine, so tucking the chin, letting that back thigh be loose, and giving some real ground to the front sole. So like it's very active, it's not in any way, shape, or form over relaxing. There's kind of this ease at the lower back body, but we still want to engage our front and our core to hold us safe in this pose, as our knees are in very different positions. Should feel an opening in both hips. The back hip will be opening up at the front, and underneath of the front hip will be opening. And make way to Brahmanasana. For spinal flexation, from here, let's Adho Mukha Svanasana, or wherever or however is best for reaching a forward fold. It might be Uttanasana. Slowly unravel to Tadasana. Exhale to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, walking them forwards. Either Chaturanga, plank pose to upward facing dog, and to Varmanasana. The second soul forward, so our second low lunge, or warrior, palms above the head. We'll undulate with the arms. Sorry. Maybe even undulating with the torso. So like forwards, backwards. Hold Uddiyana Bandha. And open twist. We'll start a repetition where the palms meet and then spread. So inhale to open, exhale to contract. And to lizard. Varmanasana. Spinal flexation. Hips to heels. And then to the bottom for Paschimottanasana again with undulation. And the next time you are upright or the torso is perpendicular with the earth, bring the palms forwards, slowly roll the spine, unroll it, unravel to corpse shavasana. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Finding Sukhasana. the fruits of our labor, yeah? Namaste.